So let's take a look at the basic layout of what MT4 does, right? So this part of MT4, and I'll make this a little wider, you guys can really see this. See this much better, right? This part is called the quote board. And here you can add symbols, you can, delete symbols, and you get, the bid-ask prices. You also get what's called your server time. So like right now it's 7:24 p.m., 1924 hours in New York, but my server is actually like 5 hours ahead of me. It's 2 o'clock. What is that? 19 plus 24? No, it's 7 hours. 7 hours ahead of me, right? It's 2 o'clock in the morning on this particular service because this particular server is somewhere where it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So just kind of letting you know how the whole thing works. So if you click on this symbol, you'll get the order window. If you click it like this, I believe you can get the chart window, right? You'll get if you right click on this. If I'm right clicking on this, you can get the chart window, and it will come up as a chart. See, so I just click the chart, euro yen chart. Here's euro yen chart. By the way, notice how they're all coming up with 0.1 now. So they're coming up at a very, very small size. So if you ever want to buy or sell, you can buy, sell small. Now, I forgot to tell you that, if you wanted to buy a larger size, this is what I was saying about adding or deleting salt, right? Let's say, my regular size should be 10,000 units. All I got to do is just manually change this to 10,000 units, right? And then I can buy proper size. But the point being is that by doing it, I leave the control to myself, not to the platform, and this gives me much better risk control by changing my size. So if you want to see every one of the symbols, you right click this particular window and you say show all, and it will show you all the symbols. If you want to hide them all, you choose hide. If you want to just delete Aussie yen, I just hit Aussie yen and now Aussie yen is gone. You can also, by the way, hit the delete key. So I've highlighted CAD yen. I'm going to hit the delete key. Maybe it's not working because I'm in the Mac, so I have to go through the menu, and I can go hide, and I just deleted Aussie yen, right? So you can add, delete, change the order, all sorts of stuff with your symbols. The next window is called your navigator window. This is a very, very important window, and this is basically your accounts. It's all in a tree format. In this particular window, it has a tree format starting with your accounts, the indicators folder, which I'll get into in just a minute, the expert advisors folder, which I'll get into in a minute, and the scripts folder, right? These are the 4 big tree categories out of which everything that you need to trade algorithmically operates. So that's called the navigator window. And then last but not least is your trading window, where you get your balance, and if you're running a trade, let's buy euro because I feel like buying euro, and it will keep a running tab of your trades. So if you wanted to, if you bought euro, you bought yen, you bought pound, all of this stuff is moving. And if you wanted to give yourself a little more space, you could literally just bring this up to give yourself a little more space, right? I won't get into every one of these tabs, but for beginning purposes, the only tabs you really kind of need to know about is the trade tab and the account history tab. The account history tab will tell you your history, and you can right click on this and it will give you a custom period, which could be like, today, which is it's probably all losses. Yeah, it's all losses because I was, it's all demo account because I was just demoing the trades. And you can just, you can see the whole gamut of your trading. So these are the 2 main tabs that you need. And then you have your charts window, which is, how your charts are. Now, on the charts window, you can do it the way I have it, which is that every tab is a chart, or you can see all of your charts like this. You see this little window over here? This will compress all of your charts into like, a tiny little look window, and you can see every single chart going on. I hate that look. So I would much rather, all I got to do is just multiply this and just simply go chart by chart by chart. It's up to you how you want to do it. But these 4 components, The quote window, the big navigator window with all the algorithmic intelligence inside of it, the trade window and the chart window is MetaTrader 4. Everything else, all this stuff, is just basically how to manipulate one or the other part of every one of these things. So I just want to make sure that part is very clear. And if we have any how do I get the market watch window? Okay, so very easy. If you go into the file, right? First of all, remember, this is the default layout. This is how MetaTrader 4 is going to come to you, right? But suppose for some reason you can't find one of these windows, right? All you got to do is go into the View menu and hit Market Watch. Now Market Watch is going to disappear. Now I'm going to go into the View menu and hit Market Watch. Now it's going to reappear, right? Now it's going to reappear. You go into View menu and you go Navigator, and that's going to disappear. And you go into View menu and bring in Navigator, and that's going to appear. As you notice, by the way, these things have hotkeys attached to them. So if you hit Control N or Control M, they're going to appear or disappear. Now there's this one other window that is really useful that I like to use, and it's called the data window. And that's basically use Control D. So I'm actually going to hit Control D just to show you how that works. So I'm going to hit Control D, and here comes the data window. And what the data window does is it will tell you all the data on a particular candle, right? So in this particular candle, what's the high, what's the low, what's the volume, what the time of this candle is, and everything else. It's just simply a really, really good thing to have if you're scrolling over your trades and trying to figure out what was going on at that particular time. If you have other indicators on your chart, it will tell you the indicator value and everything else, which I'll show you in just a bit. But in my setup, the way I have it, and this is a little too wide for me, I like to keep it this way. I like to keep the data window just a little bit wider and the chart window like this. So this is pretty much how I like to keep it. But that's how you can do it, and you can obviously get rid of it or keep it. So I have a 5-panel setup in my default, but you, of course, the standard MetaTrader 4 comes with a 4-panel: Market Watch, Navigator, the trade, and the chart. Data window is optional, and you can just turn it on.